Okay, so, well, here we go. Have I just pushed the boat out that little too far? We're doing the Hilly Route Reverse, one of 2 laps, stage 3, the level up. And I've decided to, just because of convenience and timing actually. I've dropped into the 57725 ZRS category. Bear in mind I'm 573. I guess the good thing is it's not a huge pack because of the time of the day. So on the right you can see there's 11 riders. A bit of a heads up for me. So I've done a bit of research on some of the riders. And this is just an observation, but when you see every rider, their photo, their icon, is them climbing the Stelvio on some £15,000 superbike, that's when you know you're in ZRS 570 to 725. And I've got a little quirky little logo of Cycle with Michael. That says it all in this race, as you will see as it pans out. However, my determination was, let's have a go. You know, we're having fun, it's Zwift. And at the worst case, I will finish this race last, and I'll finish it up at 3.5, 3.6, perhaps 3.7 watts a kilo, and it'll be a bloody good exercise session. So that's the aim. Look at the course, 5.5 miles, 2 laps. There's clearly a big climb. We have lots of these niggly 3%ers and little punchy orange parts, as you can see on the top graphic. It's just over 11 miles, 750 feet, I want to say, approximately. Let's just see how this goes. Number 1, look on the left, very, very moderate start, I've got to say. I'm averaging 250. That's well within my capability, 3.3 watts a kilo. You can see on the right, look, I'm just hanging. Sanchez isn't letting me draft. I've never seen such an effort to get out of the way of the draft from those two there. Look, all the riders are split. I'm sure if they look at my ZRS, they'll realise why I'm trying to draft. I've got to just punch here. So I don't know what they're going to do. No idea. And this is something I've talked about before in the baby A group. I'm going to call this the medium A group. Because it's obviously not the 690 to 1000 advanced category. But this is more than the baby group, I've got to say. So, no one's letting me draft. I'm not too bothered because no one's really rushing here. Still averaging 250. Sanchez is going right on the yellow line. Now he's gone to the right. I'm sure it's more effort for him twiddling with his controllers and thinking of all that than just staying in the front. But hey, if you don't want me to draft, believe me, I'm not going to be competing with you on the sprint, so don't worry about that. If I am drafting, I'm sure they'll realise that later. Obviously all 11 riders are bunched together on this with a little punch up here. Someone's gone off 8.5 watts a kilo. The American, well, I'm not chasing that. Brinkman, the Danish rider, going after that front rider, and they have got a little lead. No one in the rest of the pack has gone. So as I'm new to this, is that, you know, if someone is 700 ZRS, I'm sure they're capable of doing that and going stronger. Not me. I've got to stay in this pack on the downhill with a little slider here. No idea what the pack are going to do here. Are they going to chase? Well, I'm not going after that chase, so that will knock me completely out of the race. I am only doing 250 average, but I can't afford to be chasing down those two riders at the front, 6 seconds ahead. So it looks like the Dutch rider No, yeah, I'm doing 300 watts here, so it looks like we're pressing. Still 6 seconds ahead, the American and the Dane. And the Dane is doing 4.5 watts a kilo, which is pushing it. So they're still pressing. Got D. Rude, the Dutch rider here. Pressing on, 4.7 watts a kilo. You can see on the draft, but on picking up. The rider's there, 5 and 4 seconds. So it doesn't look like they've gone off. Not sure whether they know each other, but it doesn't look like they're working together to really go off. There's 3.7 miles in the first lap to go. I'd be amazed at whatever level if somebody's going to take a shot at this from 9.3 miles out, especially with a double climb to go and a group of 8, 9 behind them. So I'm sat comfortably here, they're within 3 and 4 seconds. So I think the pack are thinking they're not getting away, which is good. So we're going to regroup in a moment. 256 average, my average 276 currently. Look, I'm having to do almost 400 on this climb, a 370 yard. Just press it, Sanchez is just making an attempt to close them in on that 3 seconds. You see, that was difficult. Look, I sit down and they're off. Quickly on to 260 average here. I suspect with that climb to go, I'm going to be rolling at roughly FTP in the end of the first lap. That's 270 watts. 272. Just looking at the effort I'm going to put in that hill to stay with this pack anyway. Okay, so 3 seconds difference. Okay, all good so far. But obviously we've got the big climb and we've got it twice. Just going to concentrate here. I'm going to stand up on the flat. And we're going to come into the back of these riders, which is fantastic news. And hopefully everyone just has a little bit of a breather. What I mean by that is I get a breather. 3 miles completed, nearly 8.6 to go. Just over 7.5 minutes gone. And we're probably 68 out of 700 feet, 750 feet completed. There we go. So they didn't go flying off, but Brinkman and the American showed what they could do. That's perhaps a bit of a demonstration. I haven't got their numbers to hand, but I think that does demonstrate what they are capable of. Right, we're going to, this is quite a bit of a steep bit. Not too steep, relatively to some of the mountains you can go up here, but that orange will be a tough one, I'm guessing about 7%, 9% at its steepest. I want to see what everyone else is going to be doing. Nothing ridiculous here. I'd be expecting to have to do 350. Oh, here we go. Okay, so some people, so that's at the top of my bandwidth. I'm having to do almost 400 watts on the climb. I'm just going to put it in here to stay with them, but this is me 500 watts. I'm pushing, I'm going to be struggling in a minute. I need to get to the top of this orange, so I'll have a little breathe on that blue. Then I'll tackle the next part. Then we'll get another breather. One step at a time. I'm pleased with this. Look, average 271, almost 3.6 watts a kilo, 272. So I'm at FTP almost here. I've got a little breather, fortunately. I say breather, look, they are coming through because I've just suddenly dropped off the power and they've maintained a bit of it. I'm going to have to punch up this climb. I've got to say though, they're all good so far. I need to keep going. So even though I sit down, I need to be punching 350 watts here on this 1.6er. Let's concentrate. Then we've got a little breather. Someone's gone off there, that American. That American's either blowing everything on the first lap or just literally demonstrating the quality. I'm at the front here, just behind Brenton, I'm really well positioned here, really pleased with this. 7.8 miles to go, 10 minutes done. There we go. I think I'm just going to bunch up in a minute. We've got a little, still on a 1% climb, so can't get off the gas here. We've got a little dip, which is good, I suspect. I'll take a breather, just getting the draft there. And are they going to sprint up here? Let's see. I mean, on the second lap, what a lot of opportunities to break away. Let's get that draft somehow. Okay, I need to sit over 400. I'm doing 450 here. That's a lot for me. I can get to the top of this yellow on that, there's no problem. Good again, happy. I'm playing a blinder here. Right, stay in the draft. I can't lose the power on this flat part here. 7.4 miles to go. 1.7 on the first lap. Very well positioned, but I suspect everyone else is pretty much coasting. I've come through there. I don't want to be doing that. Everyone really is coasting now. I'm at 272 average. Again, it's touching my FTP, that. There's a bit of a climb. I need to concentrate here. Sanchez has taken up the reins noticeably. Second one to go. I don't know how to say this, but I'm quite enjoying that I'm doing okay here. Got a little climb here to this banner, and then we've got a massive drop, so I'm only sprinting off here. I'm fearful of that. I want to do 350, that's well within my remit. Here's the first lap though. A good thing, it's a blooming good wrecking. You've got 2 laps like this, you can really, you know it's coming in that second lap, obviously. You know the potential attacking points. I just need to be careful here. Make sure I stay in this draft a little. It's not descending yet until we take this left-hander. Here we go. Right, I'm in a great position there. Really chuffed. The whole group is together, which also tells me this is perhaps a more relaxed ride for this ZRS group. I'm on the limit, just under FTP. Just need to be careful here. I want to get through that barrier in the pipe and take it bit by bit. That's the plan. Drafting nicely here. And this downhill section, I recognise this. Great position. 0.6 of a mile to go. First lap, all flat. All slight descent from here to the barrier, and then we'll start the second lap. Dutch rider putting 5.28 on the flat. So you need to be careful. Well positioned. No one's attacking there. Kenny's little line in first. It's the end of the first lap, who'd have thought? He's just coming back together there. Taking position. The movement and the positioning on these riders in A-Cap, that seems to be a bit more strategic. And they're absolutely rinsing every last ounce of draft that they can, which is, and it's smart, it's clever. It does, I don't know, perhaps it's a little over the top at this speed. 262 average, right, gone through. Okay, so I'm with the pack, albeit they've not been ferocious. The key is, can I get to the bottom of that next the big climb, which will leave me 2.5 miles out, and I've literally the climb to keep up, as big and daunting as it will be, and there's as many attacking options as I've seen, and I need to keep in the game going up that big climb. Let's see what they do on this 2%. I'm not quite in the draft, but I'm having to do just dipping below 350. I'll be doing that in the cap below and the cap below that, to be fair. So when it gets to 400, that's when it gets a bit spicy, a bit tasty. I'm having to push 400 here though, just notice, to stay on the front. The rest of the pack are just itching up. Get to the top of this yellow, just press over. Objective, another objective complete. At 265 average, that's because of the descent where I really backed off. I don't like this, Dutch rider. Pressing 5 watts a kilo. No need for that after we've just been climbing. The rest of the group are not responding yet. I'm not going to be chasing that rider down. See what everyone else does. The movement. I don't mean a glitchy movement. But cyclists moving literally to get you out of the draft. Surely they're going to kick here. I'm going to have to be ready and wary here. Sanchez coming to the front there. It's only a group of 11. So literally I can be spat out the back of this group in seconds if I'm not concentrating. Here we go. I need to be pushing again. There's a bit of a split. The Dutch rider, Rude, is making a bit of a play here. I need to get in the draft there. I'm okay, but I need to be a bit closer to the front, to positions 2 and 3. I need to push over this. Definitely going to be a kick on this next one. Not for a breakaway, I wouldn't suspect. There we go, better position. Right, bit by bit. This is... We'll take a piece at a time. Suspect I'm going to have to do 500 up here. Let's see what everyone else is doing. Okay, pushing 500 at the top. Need to keep going over that yellow. Struggling now to keep putting it over these 450s. After these little descents, that's tough for me. 267 average. Rude's pushing again. I said that's a no watts, nice cruising. We'll catch him up there because he's hitting all the wind. I'm in a good position here again. 4.3 miles to go. 47 feet completed. 18 minutes. 7.2. Prediction. I can't remember who won this. I think it was results, but my prediction Sanchez is going to be there or thereabouts. I just see these bursts of power. I suspect he's got that one's got a bit of time. I can just turn it on at any point. That's the difference here. I'm on absolute limit. They're, I believe, cruising to an extent. And I think they can just turn that tap and turn it on and off. I'm in a good position. Look, under 4 miles to go. And with one other bump, if I can survive the next bump, that will get me to the base of this big climb, and then obviously people are going to attack at some point on there, knowing that there's only a descent and a flat to go. Everything's coming down here. I'm sat at the front with 3.7. Everyone's really winding up here to go up that. I'm happy to get to this point, and they've been cruising. Let's just get over this get through the next couple of minutes. Get down to 3 miles remaining. Just putting 500 there to stay at the front. Let's have another kick in a minute. Also the American. Casual enough, confident enough to wear that hat. Can't complain because I think they're talented. Let's keep going here. 4%. Let's just bring Sanchez back in. Nearly at the top of this. Nearly coming over the brow here. There we go, the American again. The German coming through. Sanchez, the Spaniard. The second American into his. 3.3 to go and I'm there. I'm with them. We're on the descent. This is going to take another half mile perhaps to the base of this climb. Get some hydration in there. The pack's stuck together. Who is going to attack? We'll push around this corner. Keep it real. 400 calories completed now. Just need to be careful here. As I said, in these air races, I've seen many attack on the flat. Perhaps with just 11 riders, I think everyone's just a bit wary. Perhaps they're just a bit far out. That's a mouse here. Hilly Route Reverse. I'm enjoying this, I've got to say. 2.8 miles to go and I'm thereabouts. Here we go. Look at that big horrible graphic. Pain in an infographic there, right there. 1.5, right, let's see. What's the wattage? Top left. It's how long I can hold 400 watts for. That's what this game is about. So no one's pushing it yet. Right, there. You see, I'm having to hold to 350 and do that. To an extent. Look, I'm having to do 380 to stay at their pace. 350 again. I've had to drop a gear because we're getting a bit too... I can't put the torque out there. So to get over 400 I'm going into 14. Okay, I'm there. Can I last to the top of this orange? Keep pushing. I don't... Come on. Blimey, I'm doing 440 and I'm getting dropped. 440, that's 5.5 watts a kilo for me. 70, let's have a look. Nearly 6 watts a kilo. And there you go, gone. I couldn't keep that up. I couldn't keep it up. I'm going to have to try just a little rest for a second. Come on, recover, and then blast. I can't let Sanchez go. Sanchez, funnily enough, has been dropped too. I'll have to stand up here, try and get hold of Sanchez. I have to do 400 again. 500 there. Come on, get on his wheel. I can't get on his wheel. And look at that gradient to go. We've only just done the first bit and that's the difference. 5 seconds. Look the group, 5 seconds. 4 and 5 ahead. Sanchez going to get in the back of that group, or has he been dropped completely, that rider? I suspect they might get... The group is there, and look, you're looking on the screen, you're thinking, why can't I just stand up and put 450 in? It's gone. There you go. Look, I'm not going to catch that group because they're not waiting for me. That 5 seconds, 6 seconds, there's 10 of them. Let's speed this on. That's the video in a nutshell. And I am going to cut it short like that because there's nothing else to say. A-level racing is tough. You can get dropped in an instant. 0.2 of a mile here. We're nearly over the edge here. Nearly over the finish. That's the difference. I mean, that is a group too far. I got ahead of myself. I need to get back in the 5, 10, 650. I lost ZRS 0.2. I think I lose 19 and it puts me in the group below. So I get a shot at 457, 570. Just put a bit of an effort over the line. Unbelievable. There we go. What a lesson in Zwift racing. What a lesson, whatever, 15, 20 seconds behind. Too much for me. Let's have a look. What if I average 3.5 watts a kilo? That's a good effort. Perhaps should be at 3.6. I couldn't do that. Look, 18 ZRS score dropped. 554. There we go. Hope you've enjoyed it. Like and subscribe.